guys, it's Lindsay. Welcome to my channel. I'm excited to share with you guys our homeschool schedule for 2021 to 2022. I'm going to share with you guys like our daily flow of how I want it to go, and I'm going to share a little bit about our weekly schedule and our like yearly schedule. Hopefully this will give you guys some ideas. I'm excited that I finally figured out what I want to do, and I know it's going to change because there's a few things in my weekly schedule that might change because of a co-op maybe happening, or like something where we might get together with friends to do a specific subject. So these are all things that are not in stone, but just a foundation for me to look at and to plan, because when there's no like vision or plan for my year, sometimes it doesn't go really well. So it's good to write things down and try to figure out what works best for your family, and then you could tweak it all you want throughout the year. So on Monday, I wanted to do our family subject, which is Spanish, but that might change because we might be doing it with our friends. If we don't, then I will keep it on Mondays. And then my kids are going to be doing their math, which is the good and the beautiful. We also, not the good and the beautiful, the math that we do is BJU, Bob Jones University. They're going to be doing that math. We also will be using teaching textbooks, but I will share with you guys when we'll do that. Language arts, both of my kids are going to be doing the good and the beautiful this year. My son's first year doing it. So far, so good. I'll share an update with you guys about our first week of school. They're going to do their handwriting. My daughter does her cursive. And they're going to do independent reading, which means my second grader is going to be reading out loud to me, and then my daughter reads on her own. I don't really have any time. I let them, read as much as they want. With my second grader, I have to make sure he reads a good amount, that I feel like is good. And then my daughter, she loves reading, so thank God she reads enough that I feel like it's good for, that it's enough time for what I feel like is good for her age. And then we have our read out louds. So that is what we'll be doing for Monday. For Tuesday, if we have a co-op, it's something that's kind of up in the air with COVID and all this stuff. We might meet for co-op that day. We might have a few classes we go to. It might be one, it might be three, I'm not sure. But we're going to be doing our math. We're going to be doing BJU for both of them, language arts, the good and the beautiful, handwriting, cursive, and then their independent reading and our read out louds usually are in for lunchtime. And then our co-op might have some components of STEM and science, so that will be a part of our science for the year, which would be really, really nice. And on Wednesday, I have, again, the same math, the same language, handwriting, cursive, reading, read out loud. And on Wednesday, I want to review what we learned for Spanish on Monday. So Monday, we'll be doing like the DVD, the music on the CD, the worksheets. And then Wednesday, I'll review the vocabulary. And then on the computer, there's a game to review the vocabulary. And then maybe my husband and I will discuss and talk about some Spanish words at the table at dinner time to like reinforce what they learned at the beginning of the week. So that is like what I'm hoping for in a perfect world, right? Thursday is when we're going to be having our rotation for history and science. So this is what I figured out. Every 2 weeks, we're going to focus on history and work on a chapter out of our history book and dive deep into it. If we like it, we'll do the whole chapter within 2 weeks. If it's something that we want to read fast, we might just read 2 chapters within the 2 weeks and do some read out louds and picture books and some crafts and projects using the story of the world. With science, we are going to be continuing with the human body. My son wants to still do it, and so we'll probably be, building some body parts through the body book that we got from Scholastic last year, and he wants to do some more of that, and I'll read lots of lessons in that book while they do that, and we'll get some like fun books from the library, maybe some DK Smithsonian ones. They're gonna continue to do their language, but they're not doing the good and the beautiful on Thursdays, and they're not going to be doing BJU. So the difference is we're going to have our group subjects on Thursday, rotated 2 weeks for science, 2 weeks for history, and then for math, they're going to do teaching textbooks, and they can do 1 lesson or 5 lessons if they want, and that will be their math time, and that will give them a chance to do something more different than their typical BJU worksheets. And then for language arts, instead of doing the good and the beautiful, I want them to do something creative, something where they write a poem, or they write a song, or they write a story, nonfiction. It could be something real, it could be an entry in their reading log, like for my daughter, but something that is like, something creative for my daughter to do on her own since she's in 4th grade. We did it this past week and it worked out really well. For my son, if he wants to dictate to me like a story that he has in his mind, I could write it down. Or if he wants to do copy work, he can. Or if we want to write a poem together, it's something that him and I will do together. What we did for our first week of school, he did some writing. He didn't really get too creative with writing. He's in 2nd grade, so I feel like this is more like the creative writing would be more for like an older kid, maybe in 4th or 5th grade. So they're going to be doing that and explode the code. I don't know if I mentioned explode the code the rest of the week, but I was telling my son I don't expect him to do explode the code every day like he did last year, because I thought that was like a lot. He did a lot of books for explode the code, so I thought he could do it like twice a week and do a few pages at a time, and then that's what he'll do. And then Friday we usually have off. We do a 4-day school week and it's been working well since they're pretty young. We're going to continue to do that, and that will be a day of like unschooling. So if they want to learn about dogs or if they want to learn about cars, like the things that they're into, they have their books that they could read. We could go to the library, do some field trips. Poetry tea time might be more like fancy or fun. They go to their grandma sometimes on Fridays, or they might have some basketball and soccer practices or games. So that is going to be Friday. And then anything that we want to do, like go to the pool or go to the beach or anything that we want to do would be that Friday. So that is basically like the weekly schedule. And what I really like about it is I was stressing out about like, I want them to do the Good and the Beautiful and BJU or certain math curriculums throughout the week and have it done every single day. But you know what? I've been thinking about it, and in school, I don't think they do every subject every single day. And it's nice to have a variation of, curriculums. So I'm glad that they're doing teaching textbooks one day out of this, and I'm glad that they're taking a break from the Good and the Beautiful and writing and doing their own, creative writing on their own to, have their own freedom, and I'll guide them through that. So it's not going to be something where I'm just like, okay, write a paper. No, I'm going to help encourage them, and maybe the next day we'll look at it and go through grammar and make sure everything's punctuated correctly and capitalized and makes sense. So that's going to help with their grammar. So that's going to be a nice little change on Thursdays. That's going to be a lighter day of school, and we did try that out last week, and like I said, it was good. I like that we have a heavy load at the beginning of the week where we get a lot of stuff done, and then it kind of trickles down to a lighter load on Thursday, and then Friday it's like, what? Friday? So that is my schedule for the weekly schedule. For the daily flow, I think I wrote it down, but what we do is we wake up probably around 7:30. That's my washer. We probably wake up around 7:30, sometimes late will be 8 o'clock. I hope it's going to be 8 o'clock this year, but they're starting to wake up earlier now, like they usually have been. And we wake up, brush our teeth, get ready for the day, and then we do breakfast. I try to have one of them do the dishes like once or twice out of the week, so we do that. And then once we have breakfast is our morning time where we do our devotional, we do poetry. I'll read a few poems. It's nothing fancy. If we do poetry tea time, I'll just make tea, and then we'll just read a few poems, and that's basically what it is. So we do that, and then after that I try to get them to do some independent work, which would be like handwriting. It only takes like 10-15 minutes, not that long at all. Sometimes my son does explode the code, and then I'll start working on like math with my daughter, like introducing to her like a new concept, and then my son, he might take a break and play, and then I might focus on math with him next, and then we'll do language around like 10:30, 11. We're kind of done with doing some of our core subjects, and we still need to finish up. So we'll take a break. They might have a snack, they might play, they might want to do like a game on the computer. I'm going to work out during that period of time, like around 10:30, 11 o'clock. I'm going to try to do a half hour, 45-minute workout, and usually they play together, or they can work on their schoolwork if they want to finish an earlier day. So it's all up to them. If they want to have an earlier school day, they can finish it. If they can do it on their own and they have no questions, or they could work at my desk while I work out in my room. After I work out and we get back to school, we usually typically after that time we eat lunch, and I do the read out louds, and we'll listen to it on audio, or sometimes, most of the time, I read it out loud to them. It all depends on like what our day's like. And then after that, we finish up our core subjects. So if they haven't finished their math or their language, we'll finish that up. We never really have like a specific time, like, but I would love to get done before 3 o'clock or before 2:30. So it really depends on our day. If we have appointments, if we have a play date, if we have a field trip, or if they're going to their grandma's, or they have soccer or sports that night, I try to get things done earlier so we can have fun the rest of the day. So that is our daily flow. And then our yearly flow is different. I know with the summer starting, it's kind of like our week. We do a lot of work during the summer and fall time, and then like a heavier load of schoolwork, I think, because we're very motivated. It's the new school year. And then during the winter time with the holidays and Hanukkah and Christmas and family, we do a little bit lighter of our schedule. It's more flexible. We still do school, but we probably just get lots of our core curriculum done, like math and language. And then for the springtime, that's when we kind of finish things up and finish strong, if you want to call it. Like, I don't know how strong we finish up, but we just try to make sure we're done with all of our Spanish and history that we want to do, and that we are pretty close to finishing up on some of their math and language. But this year I'm going to try to be a little bit more flexible and not be by the book, where we try to finish all of the language book and all of the math book, because we're doing like I said, creative writing, and we're going to be doing teaching textbooks. So we might not be finishing the curriculum from like the first page to the last page at the end of the year. So that is it, guys. Thank you guys for listening to our weekly, daily, and yearly flow. I hope this helps you guys out when it comes to your homeschooling. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have any questions, let me know down below, and I'll try to help you with your questions. If you guys are not subscribed to my channel, I would love for you guys to join me here at Momma Schmooze Homeschool Reviews. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.